our Buhl City Council meeting, February 21st, 2023. Diana, please take the roll.
Councillor Loeffler?
Here.
Councillor Keeley? Here. Councillor Towner?
Here.
Councillor Hadrava?
Here.
Mayor Carter?
Here. We'll move on to reports from department heads.
I don't have a report tonight,
Nothing?
unless you guys have anything for me
Snowplow stuff keeping up?
so far.
Good deal.
We had a bracket break on the plow for the sander truck. We gotta weld that back together, so we can manage without it for the time being though.
I think I can speak for everybody when I say thank you to you guys. It's a lot of work moving all the snow. We appreciate it. Stuart, did you have anything?
I was just gonna address the council a little bit. I haven't been here since I got elected in charge of the fire department, so I thought I'd come show my face. I don't know if anybody knows me or not, so.
Well, congratulations and thank you.
Yeah. The only thing that they see in the last meeting about, like when the water tank goes empty and we're calling, we should be calling 911. They're the ones that can handle a mass amount of phone calls. So instead of blowing up Trent's phone, which can't handle, that many phone calls, he don't want to deal with it. Call 911. They can dispatch the right person. They would call Trent too. Otherwise, they'll get a hold of the police department, fire department. They got a list of order that they go through. So anytime we have a power outage or something like that, call 911. That's the emergency service for St. Louis County. So.
And I think we'll be addressing that tonight, right, Diana?
We will.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know if you have any questions for me. Per se. Probably didn't know it's coming. So, everything's been running status quo. Over there, we're just doing our monthly checks on rigs and stuff like that. And we had a problem with one fire trucks. We had a dead battery and we got a new one. So,
How's that new truck?
it's good.
It's good?
No problem with that. It's
Excellent.
brand new.
Well, you never know. I bought a brand new Chevrolet one time and that's not supposed to give you issues and it does. How are you for manpower?
We are down to 13 members. We took a pretty big hit with losing the fire chief and assistant chief, and then we had one guy that moved out of town last fall. So them three were people that would show up on a call.
Yeah.
And that's detrimental. So.
Okay.
Do we have any applicants?
I don't know if Diana have gotten any yet.
No.
I know I'm going to talk to a few people in town. I think Pat has talked to somebody, and I think he may have grabbed an application. I don't know, Diana, if them were, I don't know where he got it from. I think he got it from.
They're here at the office, or people can get them online on our website.
And them are the good ones that work. So, yeah, there'll be maybe hopefully a flood of applicants.
How many people would you like to see?
I think we have to have that 12 or 13 to maintain the department.
Well, it's full roster, 22?
I think that 22 number is a full roster, but I mean, if we had more than that, we'd take them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it from our end.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Yeah, friend, thank you.
All right, moving on to Citizens Forum. It looks like we have a Mr. Ross, is that correct? All right.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, I'd like to see if you guys can take that car wash and zone it residential for a while. This way, I'm paying taxes on it, then I gotta pay so much to the city for not using the water and stuff, so I'd see if you guys can put it residential. If somebody buys it again, you can just, change it again. Stuff. I don't know how much of a problem that would be.
You're the owner of the car wash there?
My boy is.
Oh,
He
okay.
couldn't come tonight, so,
Gotcha.
we've had it for, 20 years, and then the roof went bad on it, and just after that, the shortstop, one of their trucks came in there and hit my wire, so we didn't have power, so my boy just said, we'll shut it down for a while until we, and stuff. Then another funny story, my other boy works at Mintac, and he didn't know that when my brother had, his brother had the car wash, he said, God, we used to go down there all the time with a fish line string and put a quarter in it and keep going, 3 car washes there. And he didn't know my boy was there. And my other brother, his other brother owned it. And another thing my boy was talking about, I see if you have the city clean up around the car wash, when the people are in here fixing the roads and the sewers and stuff, they have a whole bunch of stuff on there. I can't even cut it with a lawnmower now, I have to use a weed whacker, because they left so much stuff on it.
Just debris, dirt,
Yeah,
rocks?
Yeah, rocks and stuff, and cement, they must, mix cement and stuff, and I'd like to have that taken care of. And stuff, and another thing, I was thinking, well, there's not that many people, Diana was talking about, that got these lots in town that are paying that fee, that sewer and stuff. And is there any way you could drop that down a little bit? Because there's, a lot of people, it's a lot of money to be paying for nothing. Like I'm paying $1,800 up there for $1,200 for the sewer and stuff. And I'm paying $1,800 almost in taxes up there for nothing. Half the people in town don't even pay that much for a house and stuff. And I think they should do something, if they can knock that down, like some are paying $100 and some over $100 for it, no service. Like they said, when somebody buys a lot in town, they have to put the service, and I can't see now when somebody is not there, that they have to pay a service, and see how they pay the service, because when I bought the place, it was in, and I had to pay that, like they said, it was there, but, you still had to pay, somebody had to pay it, and stuff, so.
Well, the utility thing is city policy, correct? If you're hooked up, there is a minimum charge.
Yeah,
There's
is it,
base charges if you're hooked up to our mains.
Okay.
but I mean, is there any way you could drop it a little bit, even out in the country, they just pay $30 or $40 if they go all cabins on the lakes and stuff, and why is the city so different? I suppose they've got so much money that they need more money, but I don't know. Rural just as much are paying taxes out there too.
Well, that's a flat rate, correct?
Yes.
If you're tied in, even if you're not using any usage,
You're still
that's,
attached to the services, and I work for the utility company in Chisholm, and we are the same way over there. We charge everybody as long as they're attached to
Well,
the
we
service.
didn't have that for many years until Ryan talked to you guys in Chisholm, so,
Oh,
I don't, Diane, when did that go into effect?
it's been for a
It's
while.
been at least.
How many years?
At least 9 years,
9 years?
9, 10
Yeah.
years.
Well, I thought they just put it in not too long ago, because I asked before, and they never started charging us until, how many years ago, maybe?
You've always been charged, it's just increased over time now that we're part of the sanitary sewer district. But we used to allow, like if people weren't using the system, if they didn't have their water on, we weren't charging base customer fees. That changed where we charge base fees whether you're on or not. If you're connected, you're charged, and that probably took place maybe 6 years ago? 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
Like you see, my bill is almost as high as when I was running a car wash with everything and stuff. What I'm paying now, I should have just had it left on. Then my boy was wanting to know if I was talking to Ryan a couple of weeks ago, maybe, before he left, I don't know how long that's been, but I was telling him I was gonna tear the place down, because you don't put heat and everything shifts, So it all started shifting and stuff, and, I told him I'm gonna tear it down. Now it got so much snow around, I can't do it, Because that's a nice place, like I say, I never ever hauled anybody parking there or anything, ever, We used to park semis up there all the time and stuff, and these people parked there during the summer to do their work. I never said nothing, and stuff, and I was just thinking, is there any way you could float that money that we owe this year on it? If you could float that, it'd be kind of nice, then, like you said, then you wouldn't have to get anybody, to put the snow out. Like I say, if we gotta come to town, my boy's gonna charge money to do it, because we told him he's gonna do it, and get it done with, because he's got a lot that he's gotta clear this summer, and he doesn't have time to come to town now to help do it, you know? So, I just, I know there's a lot of snow around there, and that, like you see, that's where they put it for years and years and years.
Mr. Ross, what's the intentions with that car
I'm gonna
wash?
sell it, I'm gonna sell it.
You gonna sell it?
I'm gonna sell it, yeah. I had a couple guys looking at it before the school was here. Some guy wanted to put a liquor store there and a laundromat. But the school was there and you can't have anything, it was a schooler. So missed out on that deal. And there's another guy thinking about buying it too. And I don't know about what's gonna happen to the short stuff, somebody buys that and stuff. And I heard different rumors, about the ambulance service was thinking about buying another place and, and what else was gonna go up there? Well, I don't know, there's somebody else, there's a few more things that they wanted to put up there and stuff. So, well, that's all I got to say. All I got to say is Trent's is doing a real good job, and our police force is excellent, doing good. So, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
So to address these concerns, the question of rezoning that, is that something that would be brought to planning and zoning? Okay.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too big an issue, because you just put the Habitat's houses right down here, so, and that was, that was pretty good property too, so.
Is this car wash even functional at all anymore?
No,
It's
we
not?
shut that down a few years ago, right?
Okay,
And I
so what happens if he was to disconnect the services then, because it's not going to be a functional
If you're-
building?
I have to tear it down first before it'll be, right, Diane, I have to have nothing there.
No,
No, you just have
don't.
to be disconnected from our mains, right, Trent? You just have to be capped off.
Correct.
So you disconnect your water and your sewer main from ours, and then that's where the charges would...
That's kind of foolish too. Now, if I disconnect it, somebody comes in, they're gonna have to rehook it up. And if I have to do that, I'll dig it up. Then they'll have to do it again, but I can't believe that they can't, let it go by. I'm not using it and stuff, what's the difference? And it's a poor guy, now he's gonna have to pay $2,000 to get it hooked up. Or $3,000, whatever it is.
I think that's why I asked if it was functional. Is he going, if he purchases it, will he turn it back into
He
a
could
car
turn
wash?
it back on, well, whoever starts it will probably do something. I wish that I even dropped the price on it so I could get somebody to put a car wash in it, because boy, everybody likes the car wash in town.
Yeah.
Because we did good, but now it's, the price is up and they can make good money up there now. But we had trouble with the people, they come in there, a lot of people would come in and they wouldn't shut the door, but we had good other customers that if they went by, they'd see it, because my boy used to run from Dark Lake all the way every night to shut it down and stuff, then he'd have a timer that'd open in the morning. And he always left a little money in there so that they just had to put a quarter in it and wash their cars. So we treated people pretty nice in town, because they all, come in there all the time.
So the zoning issue, the question to change the zoning on it will be directed to planning and zoning?
Yes.
Okay,
And then they would give their recommendation to the council.
okay.
How much is that even going to save from going to commercial to residential?
Probably, let's see, maybe $10 a month.
Was that right, Diane?
If you went from commercial to residential for the base charges, it would save you about $10 to $12 a month.
Yeah, but I'm not really worried about that, it's the taxes. I'm paying so much for taxes up there in just a bare building that the roof is shot on it and everything else, it's junk, and why pay that much?
The issue for planning and zoning, though, is it's a commercial structure. How can you make a commercial structure residential?
Well, how did they do that down here with the Habitat homes? That's residential, really,
But there was not raw land.
huh?
It was raw land, so if your structure's gone, then they could switch it to residential. But as long as the commercial type building is on that land, behoove me how you can change it to residential.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can, yep, that's why I'm tearing it down, right, that's why I'm tearing it down.
So the first step is you tear it down, and I think, they can take a look at it. Otherwise, I'm saying, right now, it's a commercial type structure that's not being used. As long as that is on the property, no way could it be switched to residential.
Well, then somebody's gonna have to get up to get that snow moved so we can start working on it and getting it down. So I told Ryan before, I said, we're gonna get it down, or, as soon as I can, and
We can coordinate that with the city.
That's something we can do. So we'll start there. Get some snow moved so you can,
yeah, just to get around it, to get it down, because I'm paying it money every month, and why should I be paying money? I might as well tear the thing down, And like you say, I can get residential up there, and like you say, it's easy to change it back to commercial, if somebody buys it, what's commercial? There's no problem there.
yeah, and also a bare lot without any structure on it should lower your holding costs.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly, right, yeah, my taxes should go right down too on that, Like I say,
Yeah.
a bare lot, it's, I don't know, it's probably $300-400, and that's not
Yeah.
bad.
So I think we've found resolve. We'll move the snow, and you can get after your structure, and then we'll revisit. Sound good?
I'm good.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Ross. All right, moving on to council additions to the agenda. We have one. Elected Leaders Online Course for Counselor Hadrava. We're gonna put that as A1, right under the Essentia Ambulance Service.
If I may address that, I don't know who's all signed up for that course, but obviously if there's other people interested, I think if you made it kind of a blanket motion, if they wanted, not only, my understanding that it's personal attendance, but it's an online course that, others, if they want to, could do that if they haven't signed up so far.
Well, 2 of us are signed up for the in-person class.
Okay?
She didn't get in.
I didn't get in because it was already closed. So I did,
Oh, okay.
So
she did
this
sign me
is
up.
why he's opening to the
I see.
3 of us that, get in on it,
Yeah.
not just make,
Okay.
It's the same course, isn't it? It's just online.
Yeah.
right.
It's no fear of face.
Right.
Okay, we'll put that as A1 and address it when we get there.
Okay.
And then, as Mr. Carney said, we can make a motion that covers anybody. All right. Thank you, Mr. Carney. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Oh, sorry.
Motion to add that as A1.
Oh, sorry. Motion to add,
I'll motion to add the electric leaders course as A1.
okay, and is that worded correctly, Mr. Carney?
Yep,
That's fine. All right, we have a motion, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion's carried. Thank you. All right, now moving on to the consent agenda. The minutes, regular city council meeting, February 7th, 2023. And B, the claims, payroll number 3, $11,000, $11,114.93. Accounts payable, $84,789.25, with a total of $95,904.18. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions or comments, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. All right, on to business.
Missed packet.
Here you go. Oh, yours.
Okay.
Not anything that you're talking about, I'm going,
Oh.
I'm like.
You're like looking, I was like, wait, wait.
Sorry.
No, that's,
Are you caught up?
yep.
All right. On to business. Item A, Essentia Ambulance Service. Mr. Brian Olds from Essentia will be giving a brief update on the ambulance service. Welcome, Mr. Olds.
Thank you. First of all, I'll introduce myself. Most of you probably don't know who I am. I'm Brian Olds. I'm the EMS supervisor through Essentia Health. I supervise the operations out of Deer River and also Buhl. First of all, the biggest news was since we took over started managing the license for you guys back in April of 2022, that transition per state, or per the board, the MSRB, the state that we fall under, it had to stay as a BLS license. When we first took on, one of our goals was to eventually upgrade that to a part-time ALS license, which just went through, was voted on last Thursday, February 16th, and it passed. So we are officially can operate ALS now out of the city here of Buhl.
Excellent.
With that, now our next steps forward is trying to staff up with paramedics. When we took it on in April, we came here, there was no trucks, no staff, no nothing, we had to build it up. I was able to eventually get fully staffed with EMTs, and that was one truck operating 24/7. Our staff does stay here at the old fire hall across the street, which huge thanks to the city crew and the city for helping us remodel and building some bedrooms and whatnot over there to make it a livable area for the staff that stay there. Our goals moving forward is to eventually have 2 trucks operating 24/7. If not 24/7, at least 2 trucks, maybe 18 or 20 hours out of the day, but we will have at least a minimum of 1 truck staffed here 24/7. That way we can assist with other surrounding hospitals with interfacility transfers, but no matter what, we'll always maintain 1 truck fully staffed here in town for cover 911s around the area here. Is there any questions from the council or anything?
Could you touch on the ALS part, just for anybody who doesn't know what exactly
The
that
difference
is?
between like BLS and
Yeah,
ALS?
yep.
BLS license is staffed with EMTs, ALS is staffed with paramedics. The difference is with paramedics, we are able to do many other higher level skills, whether it be cardiac medications, some higher airway management, pain management. There's medications that we carry that we can't on a BLS rig that we can have to the bedside of somebody very quickly versus waiting for an ALS service like Hibbing or Virginia to respond all the way over here to meet up with us to administer those types of interventions. There's some minor surgical things we can do in the field as well. So it's just a lot quicker access to those higher level of care that we can give the citizens here in Buhl before, rather than waiting for a service to respond all the way over from Hibbing or Virginia.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
Yeah.
So now, how many positions will be open for that?
Currently, in order to staff 1 truck, I need about 7. We need about 6 or 7 paramedics. Currently have 7 EMTs who run 24/7, the way it's staffed. We're looking at other schedule modules and stuff like that to help with that. I can also still have, with a part-time ALS, it allows us to still be able to run a minimum of BLS service. So I can actually have on a crew 3 EMTs and 1 paramedic and still operate with that extra truck. So we're looking at possibly getting a couple extra EMTs to help out. It's really tough trying to find paramedics right now statewide. There's a huge shortage of them. So I think I have at least 2 that are, one that lives in town here that's looking at moving over to this, being his home base, so that's nice. And then we have one or two that's interested in also moving over here as their home base. Within Essential, we allow our staff to also pick up shifts at other bases, so they're constantly shuffling around, so.
Excellent, well, that's good news.
As for data, if you're interested in our call volume, since we took on, we did a total of 233 calls, with 187 of those actually be transported to a hospital. And that was since April
And that's right.
22 of 2022.
Just within Buhl city limits?
Our PSA area, which also covers Kinney
Okay,
and the surrounding area, it's fairly a small area, but it is Buhl and then Kinney and then the surrounding part of the county that we also cover.
okay, gotcha.
But majority of them are here out of the city of Buhl, so,
Excellent. Well, thank you.
thank you.
We appreciate it
You're welcome.
so much, thank you. All right, moving on to item A1. Elected Leaders Online Course. This is good for everybody. League of Minnesota Cities provides an online elected leader course. The cost of the course is $99. And as Mr. Carney said, we want to cover anybody on the council who's interested in attending this online course. So, motion to approve any all council / mayor taking the Elected Leader Foundation course. Do we have a motion?
All motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Does that include, I know, do they have different training for mayor versus council?
Not online.
Okay.
That's for any elected official, so.
Okay, so this is just an elected, just a broad one?
There's
They have mayor
two
conference.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. There's two versions of this, there's the basic and the advanced.
Okay.
That's,
The advanced builds on the basic, so you'd want to take the advanced first. I mean, the basic first.
The basic
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
obviously.
We understand, yeah.
You try it the hard way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously this would be for the basic one?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, any questions, comments on this?
You have that information where we can
Yep.
sign up? Okay.
What happens is, once it's approved and whoever wants to sign up, I will register you, and then the league will send you a link via email that you just click on and set up your own account. And then you can start.
And they have a lot of other good, like, things that you can do for free too, that
Yep.
courses.
Yep,
Mhm.
a lot of information on the league's website.
Thoughts? Any other questions, comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. So then Diana, will you get all that information out to the emails?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right, moving on to item B. Resident letter. We recently received a letter from resident Mary Marcus regarding her concern that there appeared to be a violation of open meeting law. I'm going to refer this over to Mr. Carney to address.
Yes, I looked at that. The letter is very informative, has good information in there for refresh your memory, or if you're new to it, about serial type of communications aren't permissible. It's like Counselor A talks to Counselor B talks to Counselor C then talks to Counselor A. That's, would be a violation because you then maintained a quorum. mainly, as you know, an open meeting is if you've got 3 people talking about city business, that's a violation of the open meeting law. So when I got the letter, I discussed it with Diana. The only thing I saw was a gap, and how did you come up with the questions type of thing? It should have been by council direction to refer it to the personnel committee. That's my understanding, is the personnel committee came up with the questions and looking at the league website, and so that's the only gap I saw there. And if you look now at when you're negotiating for your clerk, I reviewed the minutes, and it was directed to the personnel committee to, contract negotiations. So that's what needs to be done. It's got to be by council action. And so otherwise, you've signed up for the elected leaders and members, and I think that's a good background training for newly elected councilors. And just going forward, we'll do the best we can, and of course, it's a learning curve for a lot of us, and we'll get through it.
So I think the biggest thing is, what should have been done there should have been a motion by the council to direct the personnel committee
Correct.
to generate the questions, which
Right. That's what was
in question.
my understanding, but it didn't come from council direction. I think the personnel committee took it upon itself as a way to pursue it, but that was good, and I channel surfed, and I did see the transparency that you actually even had the interviews on camera. So I think you're trying to be very transparent, but that's just kind of a learning curve on that. So I don't think anything more has to be said on that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Carney. And we will move on. Item C. Library Board resignation. Attached is a letter of resignation from Sherry Swanson from the Library Board. Motion to accept Sherry Swanson's resignation from the Library Board.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Any comments or questions?
Thanks, Sherry, for filling in the gap until we got another person interested.
Yes. Thank you, Sherry. Any other comments, questions? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. Item D, Library Board appointment. Attached is a letter of interest to serve on the Library Board from, I apologize if I get this wrong, Kristen Conger. Does that sound correct, everybody? Okay, sorry. I'm bad with names. Thank you, Kristen. Motion to accept Kristen Conger to the Library Board.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Randy. Questions, comments?
Carrie, the librarian, spoke highly of her, so
Did she?
it sounds like she's going to be a good fit.
Excellent. Excellent. Anything else? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? That motion is carried. Moving on to item E. City credit card changes. The city cards for the fire department and city hall need to have names attached to them. The fire department card has former fire chief McDowell's name on it, and the city hall card has former city clerk Ryan Pervenanzi's name on it. Both of these cards are on hold until changes can be made. The credit card company requires documentation authorizing Diana to make any changes to the cards. Motion to authorize Diana Thronson to make name changes and/or cancellations to the city credit cards. Do we have a motion?
Make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Comments or questions? Diana, you want to touch on that?
Certainly. We have the credit cards through Park State Bank, and they require names to be attached on that. Just can't say City of Buhl Fire Department or Public Works. So with the new fire chief, we need to get Stewart's name attached to that card. And like I said, because I'm not listed, Ryan was, to make changes. They just require documentation authorizing me to make those changes, so.
All right, any questions, comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. Item F, utility outage policy. And this has been talked about quite a bit lately. Our past outage policy covered only electrical outages. Attached is an updated utility outage policy for water and electric. Diana had spoken to Chief Manor, and he has agreed to have Buhl residents call 911 in the event of a water and/or electrical outage. Just those two items, correct?
Well, I mean, obviously, any emergency, they need to call 911, but.
Well, just those two utility items,
Yes,
right?
I mean,
Okay.
So not if the internet goes out.
Right.
No,
No cable TV, don't call.
water and electrical. Just want to make sure of that. Once the Chisholm Police Department receives the call, they will contact the proper individuals or company. Motion to approve the utility outage policy.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, comments, questions?
Just so it's easy to find in the future, you know, in a few years when we completely change council again, can we put that under like the contact portion of the website? That,
To call 911?
well, for utility outages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, under the utilities, but the site page.
Okay,
Yep, we'll add that.
perfect.
I know the city's always had kind of a little barrier between getting information out to the public. Does anybody have any ideas how we can get this to individuals, you know, people who may not see the videos of the meetings, who don't have the internet?
You post it down to post
Post
office.
office.
Post office?
And then the quarterly newspaper probably.
Yep.
Go in that. It's
Okay.
Go on our webpage.
Or in the library newsletter, I'm sure they'd be willing to.
And how about posting it in our paper? You're covering all your bases.
Great.
Yeah, and anybody who does watch the videos, please let anybody know who doesn't have access to these things, that this is the policy now. That's it.
Yeah, we talked about this last week a little bit, Trent, when you weren't here at the last meeting. We just said it's not fair for you to get all these calls on your days off and.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if I can just kind of talk about, because I wasn't here, and I might as well just inform you guys what kind of is going on with the water tower. It's a problem that's existed for a while. It's a power issue, and it didn't really show itself until we put in these BFDs that control the water tower, and there's sensitive equipment electronically, and so when there's a power dip that happens, and it kind of protects the BFD, and so it just shuts it down. And so it's an incredibly easy fix. I just have to reset it and it's back on, but I have to do it manually. And I've had Minnesota Power. We've monitored it for months and months and months, and nothing happened. We took the things off, and then it happened again. So it's in order to find the problem, it's got to happen while we're monitoring it. But the monitoring equipment is expensive, so they can't just use it and just leave it there. They need it for other things too. So it's usually doesn't cause us problems, but it happens maybe twice a year. But most of the time, residents never know about it. So it is something like we'll probably get more into, because new cults and everything, we were talking about looking at the water tower stuff. And part of the water tower stuff that we're looking at was putting in a SCADA system. Now the SCADA system would be able to monitor the VFDs, so if the power outage were ever happen, I would know 6 hours before any problem would even arise. Because for that power to been off and for the water pressure to drop to the point it did, it probably took 10 hours for that to happen, so it takes a long time.
That SCADA system you can watch on your iPad at home.
Yeah.
If you're hooked up or signed up, anybody can be on their phone and you can see all this happening and
One
see
more
all
on for
kinds
your
of
phone.
problems. Pretty
Well,
nice
it's
system.
a lot of cities, I don't know, maybe Chisholm does it right now,
We're-
but a lot of cities are going to the SCADA system because it's
We're on it, yeah.
For the public, what's a VFD? Is that what you said?
VFD, I don't even know what the acronym
It's
stands.
variable frequency drive.
There you go.
One more time?
Variable frequency drive.
But I didn't know either, so.
So it shuts itself down if there's a dip in the power?
Yep,
We
it kind of just protects itself.
We can't have it run through like a battery backup, like computer servers?
No, well, when you do something like that, you basically get into a SCADA system.
Okay.
I don't even fully understand what SCADA is completely capable of, because it's just a lot of information that can be sent to you, and then you can actually control. You could probably, I wouldn't doubt that with the SCADA system, you can push a button on your phone and it resets the power for you. There's a lot of implications to it.
And you're saying we don't have that?
We don't have that. And that was kind of something that we were looking at with the new water tower.
Right now,
I'll have to get back in here.
did I hear you right? Is there 10 hours of water in there? If it,
Yeah, both. It's-
really? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It mostly is just if you have a little blip in the power, something drops out.
Yep, and so it just kind
Yeah.
of puts itself in there, and you have to manually reset it.
Yep.
And as an example, before our SCADA system, when that did happen, our guys had to go to the water plant and reset it, make sure that it was running right, and now they can sit in the comfort of their home and, like you said, push the button and it,
Remote.
Well,
Resets it.
there's no interruption in service.
there's no interruption in
Right.
service.
So you're saving man hours and, right.
And then it wouldn't just cover, once you get into this, I'm not going to, I should probably get into it. So let's just move on and talk about it later.
Well, thank you for getting to that when you did. We appreciate it. All right, we have a motion and a second, correct, Anna? Any other comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Item G, temporary shelter agreement. We currently have an agreement with Cornerstone Villa in which they are able to use the Buhl Senior Center as a temporary shelter if they ever have to evacuate their facility. They are updating their emergency preparedness disaster plan and are requesting an updated agreement. Attached is the updated agreement. Motion to approve the Emergency Services Mutual Aid Agreement for temporary shelter with Cornerstone Villa.
I'll motion. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'll motion.
Thank you, Randy. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
So this is just an update, they already do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Diana, did we reach out to the senior center about this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and they're okay with it?
They are still okay with it.
Excellent, okay. Well, that's a good thing for both parties. The city is fortunate enough to be able to provide the location, and working with organizations like Cornerstone, that's great for the city. Anything else? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Sorry, guys, I'm a little tired. Been working long shifts.
Don't worry, I'm cheating off your paper.
All right, item H, all-class reunion. The all-class reunion committee is requesting permission to close State Street from the middle of the 200 block through the 100 block and the intersection of State and Jones from Thursday, June 29th through Sunday, July 2nd. They are also requesting that the city provide extra police protection, porta potties, and garbage receptacles. The 2023 expenditure budget has $2,500 allocated for the all-class reunion. So we have to do two motions here, correct?
Yes.
All right, motion to approve blocking off State Street from the middle of the 200 block through the 100 block, including the State Street Jones Avenue intersection. Do we have a motion?
No motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Comments or questions on this motion?
Sounds like they're still leaving access, like, just quickly movable barricades so they can get through the intersection if emergency
Yeah,
needs.
we're not gonna have anything blocking the intersection at all, and we will be cleaned up in the morning of Sunday. So it won't be an all-day Sunday event. But we will, so emergency vehicles can get through, we're leaving that intersection of State and Jones.
Oh, you are?
We're gonna leave it, it'll be blocked off with barriers, but it would be easier, just, we're not gonna put a stage there, we're not gonna
Oh,
put
yeah.
anything. It will be very easy for everyone to
Just
get
this-
through.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
orange barricades.
yeah, yeah.
In case of an emergency or
In case
something?
of emergency,
Okay.
yep.
Any other comments, questions about blocking off the streets listed? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion is carried. All right, second one, motion to approve the city paying for extra police protection, porta potties, and garbage receptacles. Expenses not to exceed $2,500. Do we have a motion?
No motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Comments, questions?
How rowdy do you plan on getting, if they're about extra police service? Didn't they graduate in '86?
I'm sure we won't need that, we probably need medical. We are old, we're old. No, I mean, I believe.
Just have them on either end of the street?
Keep them running.
The police protection is because of the city requesting it,
Yeah.
not the committee. The porta potties,
Yeah.
a few, yeah, we're gonna have to have that, and the garbage receptacles, I think we have those big containers. So I don't see this costing that much money, but we still have to request it, so.
I think it's worth it.
Oh, it's gonna be worth it, it's coming along very nice, the plan, so.
That's gonna be a good time. All right, any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. All right, on to item I. Employment agreement negotiations. We will need a motion to move to close, a motion to close the open session.
I'll make a motion to,
Hold on, I have to state it correctly, sorry.
oh, sorry.
Motion to close the open session, to go into closed session as per Minnesota statute 13D.03 for wage negotiations. Do we have a motion to close open session?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Questions, comments?
I'm glad you read all that, because I wouldn't have been.
Questions, comments? Mr. Carney, did I get that correct?
Yeah, just 1 second, she's gotta get a phone to record it. Is that-
Yeah, the phone turned back on. It was on earlier and now it's not.
You want me to?
I'm just gonna grab my phone to record it.
We're out of open, right? then it close?
We didn't take a vote on it yet.
Oh, okay. Wait till Diana gets back.
Okay. Technical issues.
Sorry, I never record anything. I honestly don't know where to do this.
Just go into video and record it as a video.
Yeah, you can find videos. I'm not very tech savvy. Okay, I'll just, okay.
Do a test.
Nope, get recorded. Right?
It looks like it's turning video.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to close the open session, to go into closed session as per Minnesota statute 13D.03 for wage negotiations. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion's carried. All right, we need a motion to open session.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Welcome back to the open session. Now, with that, we'll be approving or rejecting what we have here for employment agreement, correct? Now we have to make a motion to either approve or reject. With that motion, does it have to be stated, the changes?
I think what's on the thing is the employment agreement negotiation closed session. This time there were some concerns about counselors and language that I think the motion is directed back to the personnel committee to address concerns that was brought up and then bring it back before the council.
Okay. Do we have a motion to direct this information back to the personnel committee to take action on it and get it back to the council?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Comments? Questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Carried. All right. We made it through another meeting. Thank you, everybody. Councilors' comments. Randy?
No, sorry.
Nothing?
I think we're good.
Mr. Hadrava?
I just wanted to thank Randy and the rec board and everything for putting on our skating rink winter frolic this last week, and thanks for all the people showing up. It was a nice evening. I don't know. You always do a good job with everything. I just had to give you a little kudos on camera.
The rec board does, not me. Luckily, they do all the hard stuff.
But you guys, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. Just kudos to the rec board and thanks for everything you guys do for us.
Actually, if you guys don't mind, that's a good reminder. The rink attendants did a great job getting the upper
Yeah.
rink back together, because it was awful after rain and then snow freezing on top of it. It was just awful, but I don't know, in basically a day, they got it back to skatable again. And Kelly Gergen came over and volunteered to help out. That was a big help at the event, having an extra person there. She ended up stacking the jugs for human bowling for quite a while.
Fun. Anything else, Mike?
No, that's it.
I was
Let's
just
go
gonna,
first.
I was just gonna say the same thing that you did, thanking to the rec board for doing that. I've heard really good things from people, so thanks to the rec board and all the board members and all the library board. It's exciting to know that I think pretty much all of them are filled, all the positions. Is that correct, or is there still?
For the library, there's still 2 more on the long-range planning and zoning.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only 7. I don't know why I had 8 slots on my piece of paper, so thank you, Randy. But yeah, there's 2 more slots on that one.
Okay.
I don't really have much. We have a curling bonspiel this weekend. We had a little issues with the new road and the highness of the road with the water melting. It took over our sheet 1 and kind of wrecked it. So we're gonna have to work on that. We have to get through the season and see what we can do to fix that issue. But other than that, come down to the curling club this weekend. Nothing else.
Thank you. For mayor's comments, that's what I was gonna touch on, is what you had mentioned. Other than planning and zoning, all of our positions are filled.
Correct.
I just want to extend my thanks to everybody. Everybody. I mean, library, rec board, everything. To see the community involved is amazing. We have an amazing town. It's great. Thank you to everybody.
Sorry, it just dawned on me, the rec board still needs one.
Oh, apologies.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Apologies.
I'm gonna catch heck about that.
We will get there. We will get there. Thank you to everybody. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Comments? Questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And we are adjourned.